Amazing. Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to today's IABC Queensland session. It is amazing to have you all here. My name is Mel, and I'm the president of the Queensland chapter of IABC. And we have people joining us from IABC chapters all around the Asia Pacific today, as well as people from the broader comms community. So thank you so much for joining us here today. So, before we kick off, I would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the lands on which we are all joining from today. In my case, I'm joining from the lands of the Yagara and the Turrbal people here in Meanjin, also known as Brisbane. And I noticed some of you have put the lands that you're from in the chat as well. So, thank you very much for sharing. I won't talk too much. We will have a question time about halfway through when Matt and Nick do a quick switcheroo. And we'll have time for questions at the end as well. So without further ado, I'll hand over to Matt. Thanks, Matt.
Hey, everyone. Lovely to see you. Just going to share the screen. Can everyone see my screen? Amazing. So thank you so much for joining. We're really excited to be here. My name is Matt, as you heard.
And hi, everybody. My name is Nick, and we're both content strategists and design educators at Canva. So we work on a platform called Design School, helping educate all of our 180 million users across the planet now, which is pretty wild.
It's crazy. So a big part of what we do is showing people what's new in Canva. And oh boy, do we have some big updates for you.
So today we'll discuss new features, new feature updates, and a bunch of tools that you can use externally and internally with your team.
But first, just so we know who's in the room, on a scale of 1 to 10, how confident are you in using Canva? If you could throw your answers in the chat. 10 is like, I should be teaching this course. 1 is like, Canva? What's Canva? Oh, wow.
Looks like we've got a pretty broad,
but definitely everyone has used it before, which is great.
Yes, that's good. And there's probably a few people who don't even have a Canva account today. So hopefully by the end, we will have convinced you to sign up. All right. And the next question is, who is glowed up? Matt, are you glowing up?
I am glowing up. It's a bit weird to say glowing up. Again, if anyone knows what we're talking about, put it in the chat.
There's a lot of confused.
So I did another clue. Fantastic. Well, yeah. Okay, so.
All right. So yes, you're probably wondering what the heck we're talking about. Matt, can you tell us a bit about the Glowup?
Yeah, well, I mean, a couple of people in the chat you would have seen may have noticed this new look and feel, and this is the Glowup as we've been affectionately calling it in Canva.
Yeah, so it's a new look and feel for Canva's UI, which you'll notice on the homepage and in the editor. So for those of you who don't have access yet, don't worry. It's being rolled out to 100% of users in the next month or so. And everything else we're going to show today is already available in all accounts.
Yeah, here's a quick view of the before and after. And the main difference is you've got loads more room to design. It's easier to stay organized, and a number of like really tiny little changes to the homepage and navigation. It's just going to make it easier for everyone.
So as we go through some of the following demos, we'll make sure we point out any Glowup specific features along the way.
Now, the first thing we want to show you is not necessarily a new thing, but it's important for everything we're going to be showing you. So we thought we'd start with brand kits.
If you're working with a brand, this brings everything together in one place. It's really sort of easily accessible. So you can access your brand fonts, logos, colors, icons, imagery. You can even get graphics and pre-designed brand templates, all within the Canva editor.
Yeah, a brand kit, I guess, basically helps you establish brand consistency for all the collateral across every touch point. Now, you're going to see this quite a bit during the day. And what this means is I'm going to go and show you where you can find all this stuff. So we're over here in Canva now. This is the homepage in the Glowup. And if we go down to brand, you can see here that we have got brand kits, brand templates, and brand controls. So in the brand kits, I've chosen this particular team because there's lots of different brands in here. And you can sort of go into them and see what they all are. Let me choose, let's go this one. So this is a Clementini brand kit. So these are one of our fake brands that we use a lot in kind of training exercises. And I think it's basically, it's like a fruit juice, fruit smoothie kind of place. As you can see here, we've got all the logo assets. They're all sitting right there. We've put in all the colors. So these are the primary palettes, the secondary palettes here, and even got a black and white palette here. We've got all the fonts in there. So these are all the brand fonts that will be used. So using open source for everything, which is just different weights of open source and different sizes. This is a new thing, which is super exciting. This is the brand voice. So this allows you to put in, how you sound to your audience, basically. So the example here is Clementini's brand voice is vibrant, refreshing, authentic, mirroring the pure and unadulterated nature of fresh smoothies and pressed juices, sort of thing. So you get an idea, and we'll come back to what that means and why that's really important you put in later on. We've even got photos in here. So these are photos that anyone might need to use. And we've got graphics and even icons. So
Might be worth pointing out as well, with all of these logos, graphics, and icons, Canva also supports SVG files, which means they're vector-based, so they can be recolorable, they can be scaled up as big as you need. So yeah, lots of versatility with the sorts of assets you can put into your brand kit.
I'll just jump back in here as well. Brand templates is also an area in brand that is worth looking at. So what we've got here is we've got a presentation that is ready to go. So then anyone who's in this team can go ahead and grab this. And then we've also got brand controls. And because I'm the owner of the brand, I can choose to make sure that they can only use the colors we want them to use, or only use the fonts that we want them to use. And we can even put design approvals here. So we might say on specific templates, for example, if someone's going to use one of them, that we want to see it before it goes out. And so you can actually approve straight from within Canva. So that's brand kit. All right, next up, we're going to discuss tools for internal communication in your organization.
All right, so we'll cover updates to docs, decks, and the new method to enhance your communications without spending too much extra time.
And it's worth pointing out that these updates can be used externally. They can be used for anything. We're just concentrating on internal comms for this demo.
So one of the big new releases is sort of at our, you might notice our background here, we've got Canva Create, Work Redesigned, our big event in LA last month. One of the big releases was work kits. So it's designed to empower every part of the workplace with the best-in-class selection of templates, resources, and app integrations.
Okay, and it might be better if I just show you actually. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump over here. This is, if you just go to canva.com WorkKits home, this is basically where you'll end up. Let's choose what's internal, human resources. Let's choose that. So here we've got, what have we got? We've got lots and lots of templates. So these are all templates you can go and grab. And these are picked by our internal design team, who are basically trying to work out what might be useful for someone who's working in internal comms or human resources. So lots of these, all different kind of things that you can use it for. So career upskilling, learning and development, thought starters. We've got a whole section on apps here that might be quite useful. So what do we got? Mockups, Monday, Live in Monday, type gradient. This is a new one, which is pretty cool. And then this is a good one if you're doing any presentations and you don't want to be on camera. You want AI to do it for you. Below here, we've got some resources for anyone who's working in human resources or internal comms. So you've got like a bunch of articles. You've got case studies of different businesses that have been using Canva, webinars that you can jump into, and then videos. Oh, and there's me. Yay. And then you've got all the other work kits. If you ever want to kind of jump into one of those and see what they're looking at, you can go and do that as well. Right, moving on. Let's talk about doc updates. Docs have been out probably a year now, do you reckon, Nick?
Yeah, a little bit over a year now.
And they've made a massive impact, particularly in the way they incorporate AI and supercharge that visual experience. So it allows you, our docs allows you you can just drag and drop like images or charts or tables, videos, even other slide decks or other Canva designs. Should we have a look at this, Nick?
Take it away. Show us how it works.
So let's jump back into here. Go up to the templates. Let's choose a doc, this one. So when you click on it, it'll open up a preview. And then you just choose to customize. This will open up a whole new document for you. Here you can sort of see we've got a heading here, which is, if you want to change it, you can just double click on it. It'll open up a brand new Canva design on top of, so you can change it to, let's change that to classes, hit save. You can see that changes straight away. You can see we've got quite a few pages here. I'm kind of feeling like opening this up for the first time, the agenda is in dot points. I feel like I need it to be something a little bit more kind of, I guess, introductory to the person that's coming in. So I'm going to select all that and I'm going to go to Magic Write. And I'm going to say custom prompt. Let's say take out the bullet points and make it more welcoming. All right, that's investing management. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. So I can just hit replace, and then I'll get rid of that bullet point altogether. Okay, that's sounding a lot better. What else can I do? Oh, you know what, Nick? I've completely forgotten. I've done this, and then I haven't put it in the brand voice.
Yeah, it's not sounding quite on brand for our tone of voice. So
change voice, apply brand voice. Let's see what this comes back with.
So if you're wondering what's going on here, this is using our proprietary model. It's essentially built off the back of a ChatGPT kind of OpenAI model. It's a large language model to address all these different sorts of prompts and change the tone of voice, or generate brand new text as well. It's really, really well integrated.
Yeah, and if you remember what I showed you in the brand kit, when we actually showed you that brand voice section for Clementini, it has gone ahead and applied that brand voice to that piece of text that we had there. So you can actually see it's even mentioned Clementini. It wants to change it to Clementine. It's mentioned Clementini. It's even mentioned one of the slogans, which is 100% beneficial, 0% fluff. And yeah, it's using words like energizing, gulp down your knowledge. So it's just pulling in all those things from that brand. This is a lot of stuff on the first page, and I'm a bit worried that people are going to be potentially find it too much. So if I just go in here and then I hit on the plus button, I can go in. There's a new thing in here that we've got, which is page break. Yay, finally. So we can hit page break, and what that does is it actually creates a page. So now if someone's printing this out, they'll get all this on the first page and all this on the second page.
What about making edits, Matt? Can you
yeah, because I'm not really happy with this last line here, but it's probably not me who's going to make the decision on this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to where it says editing up here. I'm going to change it to suggesting, which is our new thing. And I'm just going to go, and I know energizing is part of the brand voice, but this I'm speaking to the managers. So support during this ongoing, let's say ongoing, that feels like a better word, ongoing learning journey. And as you can see, what's happened there now is it's crossed it out. So everyone can see that it's been crossed out. And it's also put a comment up here. So someone else later on can come in and accept it or reject it. So that's been a long time coming. It really makes things a lot easier, definitely in-house in Canva when we're like throwing scripts around or throwing ideas around. Cool. All right.
Awesome. So what about presentations, Matt? What's changed there?
Yeah, so presentations were already pretty amazing, but a few things have been added that I guess make it even easier to build and present and share. And actually, I'll let you tell everyone about this.
Sure. Yeah. So the first thing we'll show you is the new layouts and styles. So this is a super quick way to make your presentations more visually engaging and more consistent.
All right, so let's jump into another demo. I'm going to jump back into our work kit again, and this time I'm going to choose a presentation. Let's just go this top one. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is, it's not in our style. So I showed you the brand kit at the very start. This is completely not our style. So I'm going to go up to design here, and I'm going to go into styles. And the first thing I'm going to do, you can see here, I've got my Clementini brand kit set up. You can select whatever brand kit you wanted. I'm going to change the fonts straight away. So I'll hit that one. Yep, that's looking good. Now I can apply that to all pages. And you'll see that's changed on every single page now. Likewise, I'm going to change the colors. So I'll just hit that. That's not really good. You'll see a little shuffle button here. Click it again. That's better. I wonder if I try the secondary palette. That's a bit too much. Okay, let's get back onto this one. That's feeling about right, I'd say. So again, see all the pages here? Hasn't been applied yet. When I hit apply to all pages, you'll see it goes through and applies it to every single page. So straight away, I've got something pretty close to our brand within a couple of seconds. What else can I do? This has got the wrong logo. So let me go to brand. I'll get rid of that first. Just hit delete. And then I'll drag in our logo. Let me put it over here. Okay, that was looking pretty good. What else can I do? So let's find some text. Few years ago, we came up with a big idea. Okay, let's go through and change that brand voice. I'm just hitting generate in that brand voice.
That's awesome. What about the layout of this page? I don't quite like the way the three images are laid out. Can you?
Yeah, well, I've just hit the brand voice, so I didn't click it properly before. And as you can see, it's giving me something that's on brand, but the problem is it's now over all the text. Let me get rid of that logo for a start. So I can just go back up to design, and let me go to layouts. And what this does is it uses AI to have a look at this page and come up with a whole bunch of different ways that it could possibly be laid out. So straight away, you can see here, it's now putting the text where I need it to be, which is looking good. I think this one's looking pretty good, actually. So I just click it, and there we go. Done. Okay. Question: if you don't have a brand kit, which could, for instance, people may not have a brand kit yet, haven't set up a brand kit, that's not a problem. What you can do at any point is go in, and what we've got here is combinations. So these are combinations that are linking a range of different colors, a color palette, with particular fonts. So let's choose something that's going to be really different. Let's try this one. So straight away, you can see it's changed the fonts, it's changed the color as well. Try this one. That looks pretty good. And again, you can apply it to all pages, and it'll go straight through and do every single page. There's another way that you can do this, which is new, which I really enjoy. Like, I've chosen this particular template, but I actually was looking through this one, and I really liked the colors of it, and I really liked the font of it as well. So what you can actually do is you can go here, click on that, and just go apply style to page, and it'll go through and it will apply everything, that particular style for that template through on this template. So I can just apply that. You can see then again, it's gone through and it's changed every single thing on every single page, which makes things really, really fast. Nick, have I missed anything else out?
No, I think that's great. Some huge time-saving features for building out brand templates and assets there, right? It's really, really good.
Talking about time saving. So in a lot of the projects I work on, I need both docs and presentations. Some people prefer to see a presentation, some people prefer to see a doc. And in the past, I guess, it's like it's taken ages to kind of like convert a presentation into a doc. And also because we're global, quite often I have to send off stuff to other countries. And it would be really great to sort of be able to put that in their language of choice.
So is this where you're going to show us how it's done in a demo?
How did you know? All right, so let's I'll close this down, and I'm just going to go up to resize and magic switch. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to hit this new thing, which is transform into doc. So it's going to take this whole presentation and turn it into, let's say a summary, just so someone's got a concise executive summary. And it'll take every single thing in this presentation and it'll put it into a doc that I can send it off to someone really quickly. Quite a big file. I probably should have chosen a really small file. Here it comes. Talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah, so I think a key thing to point out here is the longer the presentation is, obviously the longer this process takes because it's scanning every single page of the presentation and summarizing it and putting it into a completely new format, which is super handy. But yeah, it's all based on AI.
Here we go. So as you can see, it's grabbed some of the headings. It's grabbed a couple of the images. It's even brought in some of the graphs. It's got, what else have we got here? Even got a video in here that was on one of the pages. And you can see it's quite short now. It's turned that massive document into, what have we got? Probably 2 pages, 3 pages at the most, which is pretty handy. But I do need this to go over to my Spanish team. So I'm just going to ask it to change it to Spanish. And you've got a tone of voice, which is brand new as well. So I could choose to actually change the tone of voice throughout the whole document if I wanted to make it more conversational, more inspirational, but I'm going to leave it as original. I'm going to hit translate. I'm going to open a brand new doc for me. And what you have there is now it's gone through and it's translated every single thing in there. Now, I always make sure that I get someone on the team who speaks Spanish to check it. And what's really interesting is when we talk about this, our localization team, the thing they always talk about is like, this used to take a couple of days, kind of like to go through and do it all really well. And now what it does, it takes, kind of half an hour at the most. So that's where the real time saving comes in. Actually, before we jump out of this, I'm just going to show you this as well. This is new. This is our outline. Let me jump back onto here. So outline means that it's broken down the whole document as well into the different parts. So I can click on this and it'll take me straight down to anything as well. So again, it's done all this by itself, which is really good. All right.
That's awesome. And we do have a few questions in the chat, which I promise we'll get to in a moment. But let's keep going on to the next feature here. So with presentations and meetings, quite often it's hard to get everyone in the same room together.
Yeah, and this is where talking presentations solves this. So previously, if people couldn't make the meeting, we might just send them the deck or the doc or maybe both and hope that they understood.
So now with talking presentations, you can ensure that the information you've created is delivered exactly the way you intended.
Now, I don't think we've probably got time to get into this, but we will. I've got a link here that I will put into another document and give it to everyone if you want to find out more about this. Likewise, I just wanted to show you that the app marketplace has been growing at this remarkable rate with all these like really helpful items. So make sure you check that out. One app that I really want you to check out is this bulk create app. And this little demo shows you how it works on business cards, but it works equally well on social media, assets, invitations, certificates, wherever names, photos, dates, and numbers need to change, and the rest of the design remains the same. So really, really super helpful, and something that I've been wanting for a long time. All right.
Amazing.
Let's get to some of those questions. I'm going to stop sharing.
Yeah, so we've covered a heap already, and I know there's a bunch of questions in the chat, so feel free to add any more in now. We will have a bit more time in a moment to ask some more questions, but I'll see if I can answer them before we jump into the next section. So let me just share my screen here. All right. So I know one of the questions we had was regarding brand kit and how to upload your brand assets to the Canva environment to sort of make the most of it. So at the beginning, Matt did show the Canva homepage here, and he went over to this tab over on the left, which is our brand tab. So this is where you actually go to set up the brand kit. So I simply click in here and you can add a new brand kit in. Sorry, I've got this in the way here. So you can see there's a little add new button here. So this is where you just give your brand kit a title, and you can start adding in all of the different assets, logos, colors, and all of the rest. So once you've done this once, obviously it's then accessible by your team across the entire account. So yeah, hopefully that answers that question, but feel free to let me know if there was a follow-up question.
There's another question there from Alicia and Bernadette, just asking about can they upload a presentation that's not created in Canva and use
Yeah, that's right. I love this question. And the answer is yes. So the good thing about Canva is that you can import not only PowerPoint presentations, so you can just drag your PowerPoint presentation straight to the Canva homepage here, and Canva will import that document and convert it into a Canva presentation. Just be aware, I mean, it is a conversion process. So the very nature of conversion does mean sometimes it won't import 100% accurately. So for example, if the font you used in PowerPoint isn't available in Canva, it'll just pick the closest font that's close enough. So things might not line up exactly. You might need to go back through that deck and just fix it up a little bit. But it is very easy to import assets like PowerPoint presentations, PDFs, Adobe Photoshop files, lots of different files you can just bring straight in. And
someone asks, what about InDesign?
I don't think InDesign is supported at the moment. I'd have to get back to you on that one.
You can put it into a PDF and then upload the PDF, and then it'll create a whole new presentation for you.
That's a really good point. Yeah, and most of the time when you're working in InDesign, you'd export as a PDF anyway. And when you import into Canva, it'll be a layered PDF, so you can actually edit every single element on that page. It's not flattened. So there was one other question about docs, I think, which was about page numbers. I think it's worth pointing out that docs, it's really a digital document creator. So although you can print, from our docs product, if you're looking to do more of a page layout type of thing, maybe a newsletter, for example, we do have, you can actually just come in and search for a newsletter template, for example. And that'll open up what we call the fixed editor. So you can see here, this might be more of a page layout type of design with lots more images and columns and things that's maybe going to be consumed as a print asset. This is probably the best way to go. Whereas our docs product is more of a continuous, never-ending page. It's a long, digital page. Hope that kind of clears that up. Any other questions, Matt?
Yeah, there was another question, just which I'm kind of half answering already. But after uploading your brand, will Canva create a variety of palettes to choose from?
That's a good question. So there is something here that I really love. It's a bit of a tangent, but we might as well take a look.
We're
Gonna
here for tangents.
So we do have an app in here which is called Brand Fetch. Just see if I can find it. Here it is, Brand Fetch. So this allows you to put in the domain name or just type in the brand name, or if you're working for a bigger company and you have quite a large online presence. So we'll just take, for example, Shopify here. You can just search for it in here, and once you've found that brand, it will actually pull in all of the logos, colors, and imagery associated with that brand. That's sort of freely available online. So for bigger brands, especially if you're working maybe with, I don't know, maybe doing a case study, or you need to use another company's brand assets for your slides. Brand Fetch is really cool to kind of grab all of the assets and know that they're actually going to be correct. So I don't know if that answers the question, but that's a really cool feature.
Just one more question, then we'll come back to all the others at the end. You have a template for newsletters. Can you integrate them with Vision 6 or MailChimp?
That is a good question. I don't know whether we have a MailChimp integration yet. Should we just have a look here? I remember seeing it actually. No.
So what I would probably suggest though is I would probably suggest when you go to share, and you can make a public view only link, which is another way around it. So over to share.
Yes.
And then you can get into all the analytics.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. So you can create a public view link of your design. So I'll just actually create this now. So this link is a unique link, which you can share. Maybe it's in an email campaign, or just out to your internal team over Slack, for example. And when they open that link, Canva actually has a really useful insights panel to let you know how many views it's getting, what sort of engagement. So how many people are, how long people are staying on the page. You can also set up unique links if you want to share them out in different channels. So, one for a blog post, one for a business lead, one for a marketing email. It's pretty robust. So there are some really good analytics and insights you can use there as well. Yeah, it's another option for sure.
There's so many questions, which is awesome. We will come back to the other questions when we get to the end.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, let's go on to the next part. So there are quite a few updates to the image and audio products that we have that I thought you should really take a look at. So the first one is Image Upscaler. So I'm going to take you through a few things actually that we're really excited about. And most of them involve AI. So this first one here, Image Upscaler, is really about ensuring you've got a really clear image. I'm sure this has happened to a lot of you before. Matt, this has happened to us, hasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. If I can bring up an example. So at the recent Canva Create, we're receiving like really low res images of all the speakers, which in the past would have been super annoying because you'd have to get back to them, speak to their agents, ask them for higher res versions, back and forth. It would have taken ages. But what we're able to do is just basically go into this, upscale them all so they looked really clean and sharp, and then publish it all, which was so quick.
Yeah, it's really, really cool. So the next one I want to show you is video highlights. So this is powered by AI to enable sort of like incredibly smart video trimming. So you can turn around and edit really, really quickly and really just select the most important parts of the video clip to use in your project. And the final thing I want to show you is the Enhance Voice tool.
Yeah, this is really good because it just means you can record wherever you are. If you're sitting underneath a really noisy air conditioning, you don't need to go and find that perfect soundproof room. You can just start recording straight away.
And after that, I want to show you a few of the other kind of core Magic Studio tools. So we've got things like Magic Grab, which you can see here. There's Magic Edit and Magic Expand that are all part of the Magic Studio kind of suite of tools that we have. So we've got a little workbook for you to try them all out as well at the end. So why don't I jump in and show you some of these features now? I'm going to get back over to here. Let me just make sure I've got this full screen here. So I've got a few examples that I want to run through with you just to show you how these all work. So let's start with image upscaler. So you can see here I've got an image of a, it's essentially a portrait image, but I don't know if you can tell here, but it's very, very kind of grainy and low resolution. Maybe you're working with a client, you don't have time to go back and ask them for a higher resolution image. So in this case, it's really quick. Just hit edit, come over to the apps section on the left here, and there's an image upscaler app. So I'm just going to hit that one. And let's upscale 4x. So that's going to be 4 times the resolution that it currently is. And we'll let that work its magic. And you can see here, I've got a little preview and I can just go ahead and hit replace, and that'll add the upscaled image straight into this design. Except for I've encountered an error. Have you seen that happen before, Matt?
Yeah.
It's always fun when this happens. So that's how you know this is a live demo. These things happen.
Do a refresh? Yeah.
Give it another go.
It worked yesterday.
It did. We use this dozens of times in our recent project as well. Super, super handy. And I'm still getting an error. So
Oh no.
wow, that's
try 2 times.
Do you think so?
Oh yeah, 3 times.
I think it's the it's upscaling, but it's not replacing it into the
Yeah.
I promise it works, and it is really, really cool. So I'm just going to move on to the next one.
We'll get that fixed.
Give it a go yourself. It definitely should work for you. Highlights is the other really cool AI feature to help break up a video clip. So you can see in this example here, we've got a long video. So it's essentially like a bit of a montage of different clips, and it's all kind of edited together. So we can use the highlights feature to split it out into individual clips. So if we just click highlights here, there we go. You can see, so highlights is now split that out into kind of chapters, if you like. So we've got welcome to a brand new era, a global audience announcement. So all of this is done with AI. So as a nice over here.
Introducing Magic Design. Who can now access Magic?
So now I can just like grab those clips, the ones that I need, and just insert them.
Who can now access Magic, right?
Sorry if that audio is a little bit annoying there. But yeah, super handy. It makes video editing really, really quick. All right, so I'm going to show you enhanced voice next. So I recorded this short clip before just to introduce myself to all of you, but there was a lot of background noise, and I think I actually got interrupted by Matt here.
Hi everyone, I'm Nick. I'm a design educator at Canva.
Okay, so you can hear there's a lot of background noise in this clip. So I'm gonna come up and hit edit, and then come over here to enhance voice and switch that on. So that'll just analyze the clip, and again, using AI, it'll sort of pull out the voice while suppressing any of the background noise, white noise, air conditioning noise, any of that sort of stuff, really clean it up. Just give that a second to work its magic. Here we go. All right. Could everyone hear that before? I'm just going to press play again and see if, yep. Okay, here we go. Hi everyone, I'm Nick. I'm a design educator at Canva. There we go. So you can see it's really cleaned it up. So super handy. You don't have to throw away those clips that have too much background noise. Another one that a lot of people are probably fairly familiar with. This is our background remover tool. OneClick background removers. It's one of our most popular tools. It's been used literally billions of times. It's so quick and easy to use now in the new editor. It's got a dedicated button here, so you just click on it once. And there we go. So easy. We use that for everything. Another really awesome AI feature. So this is kind of an extension of background remover. It's something called Magic Grab. So in an image where you've got maybe a foreground object and you want to put it onto a new background, now you can come into, hit edit and Magic Grab over here. All you have to do is click on the foreground object that you want to move and then click grab. And that'll actually isolate that object from the background, and it will also fill in the background sort of in painting to make it look seamless. So now I've isolated the two objects, and I can just move the astronaut down onto this background. And you can see here it's actually filled in the hole where the astronaut would have been in that picture. Again, super handy. Very, very cool.
This is really, really handy. Like when you've had like maybe a photo shoot done, and then you decide you want to put some text in there, and like it's just a little bit too much text that's going over one of the kind of objects in the background. You can just use Magic Grab and just move that object over, and then the text will sit in perfectly. So I really love this one.
Yeah, absolutely. Magic Eraser is another really cool one. So if you've got images that you just need to remove certain objects from, maybe a photo bomber like these two pigeons here, come in, grab Magic Eraser, and you can just paint over them. Let's get rid of them. And it'll, again, do the in-painting kind of AI thing to make sure that it's all seamless like that. Just like Magic Eraser, there is also another feature here, which is it's called Magic Edit. So you can also paint over an object and change it to something else entirely as well. So definitely play around with that one. See how you go. It's very, very fun as well. And then the last one I want to show you here is Magic Media. So this is extended beyond just, creating AI generated imagery. It's a little bit more advanced than that now. So you can generate graphics as well. And you can also, you can generate video, you can generate lots of different things now with Magic Media. So I'll just show you, first of all, let's go to our AI image generator. So here you can see we've got the ability to do images, graphics, and videos. So let's see what we can generate here. Let's do gold leaf. And maybe we'll do it in a, let's see what style. Yeah, let's try mid-century style. And we'll do it square and generate image. So you've got a lot of, I think the hardest thing with using AI models is figuring out the prompting. I'm sure a lot of you have had experience with this. You've really got to know how to prompt these things to get what you want. The good thing is with Canva's model is there's lots of really good pre-built kind of presets to narrow down your prompt and get it kind of working the way to essentially get what you need out of it. So it just takes a lot of the guesswork out of using an AI image generator. Okay, there's my image.
It's a question from here, so you could generate icons, for example.
Yes, absolutely. Yep. So that's in here as well. So when you're generating your own, if you come to graphics, you can give that a go in here to generate sort of like hand-drawn or sticker style assets as well. There's lots in there. So definitely give that a go. I won't go through and do it again here. What I will do though is share with you a lovely little link for you to open your own workbook. So in this workbook, you're going to be able to play around with all of those activities that I just went through and some extra ones as well. So you can kind of learn a bit more about how all those AI-based features work. So Matt, do you have can we share this link in there?
Yeah, just grabbing it now, throw it in.
Excellent. So that should be in the chat for you now. So I'll throw it over to Matt to bring us home.
Just managed to shut down all my. Are you still showing your screen? Yes, you are.
I am. Yes.
Okay, so the only thing I wanted to kind of finish on is we're showing you a lot of stuff. If you want to learn more, please go and see where me and Nick hang out most of the time, which is in Design School, which is full of courses, tutorials, and even links to live lessons. And what we've been doing recently, which we're really excited about, is certifications. So you can actually go through, do a course, and then do a test to show people that you're actually certified. So at the end of this pretty small test, you'll get a badge that goes onto your LinkedIn. We've got 2 up there at the moment. So Graphic Design Essentials, which just basically goes through the theory and knowledge and skills of graphic design. And then we've also got one about teaching. So you can do those, and we've got so many more coming, which we're super excited about. If you want any more resources and events, we do have live webinars every week. And then we also have a bunch of resources, but I would really suggest checking out the work kits. That's where all the kind of latest stuff is being put.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so much. We really appreciate you listening to us for the past half an hour or so. I'm sure there's probably some more questions. So now's your opportunity. Please drop them in the chat, and we'll do our best to answer them. And of course, if we can't, we'll maybe have to get back to you at a later point. But yeah, thank you so much.
Thanks, Matt and Nick. While some questions are coming in, one of the questions that we had was around the AI security. So obviously one of the issues that a lot of people in our community deal with is the fact that their businesses don't want them using like a chat GPT or those sorts of things because of the worry about confidential information. Can you explain how that works with your tools?
The better thing that I can probably do is, I'm just going to put in the chat now, there is a site there that is updated all the time with where we are with all this. So it's that's probably the best way, because the lawyers are constantly on that to make sure that we're doing everything right by our audience and our community. So yeah, just grab that link and you can see exactly what you need.
Yeah, I think this is definitely a hot button topic for sure. And I mean, it's a little hard for me and Matt to get into specifics because, you know, we don't work on the AI products themselves. But I can tell you that Canva does have a lot of AI safety features in place to safeguard the sort of outputs and uses of our AI products. So, for example, things like political imagery or even political copy usually doesn't get generated, or you know, you can't create that sort of stuff in Canva. Same for anything that's, you know, potentially you know, inappropriate or harmful. There's some pretty strong kind of safety guardrails on the way these models work within our platform. But you can learn much more about it, on the link that Matt just shared.
Fantastic. Another question is from an internal comms perspective or just communications profession in general, are there any other tools on the horizon that you might know about or that are coming down the line?
Trying to get us sacked, Mel?
We're all friends here.
Yeah. This is not being recorded. I guess what I would say is I've never worked at a place before which has so many different teams focused on so many different parts of the product. And constantly, like, all those teams their one kind of objective, I guess, is to improve that part for our audience and community. And so there's always so much happening. The next big thing, and the reason I joked about that we can't give too much away. So we've got a big thing happening in October, which we like to call Droptober. So that's where we drop all the kind of latest launches and things that are coming out. But there's some pretty wild stuff. I hate this question because we test everything on ourselves as well. So we're actually using a version where there's like a whole bunch of things in there, and I often go out to talks like this and I'm like, oh yeah, just use this button. They're like, what button? Because it doesn't exist in their version. So there's some really cool stuff that I know I'm using and Nick is also using like every day that's coming out soon, which we're pretty excited about.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I think maybe just to add to that, Canva's really continuing to double down on enterprise use cases. So you can expect, more features for internal teams, and, I guess medium to large size businesses. We're focusing a lot on data visualization as well. So that's probably
It's just been a question about that, actually, Nick,
Oh yeah.
from Leanne. Do you want to just show very quickly where people would find how to make data look attractive in a presentation?
Sure, I can do that. So I'll just open a blank page here. So like everything in Canva, when you're in the editor, you can find all of the different ingredients over here on the left. So I'm going to go to elements and scroll down to our charts section. So I'll just click see all. And this opens up all the different types of charts that we have. And then we also have some really cool interactive charts. So oh God, it looks like there's actually a few more here that I haven't even seen.
Well, I haven't even seen those ones before.
Oh, good. So just to give you an idea of how these work, let's try maybe this one. This is called a packed circles chart. When you bring this into your design, obviously it's completely editable, as you'd expect. There's a little data tab over here on the right. So this is where you can import from a Google Sheets or maybe a CSV file or Excel spreadsheet. You can just bring in your data that way and populate these cells, and that'll update the group names and sizes and everything. But the coolest thing about this is you can imagine this being maybe a cohort comparison or something. As a consumer or a viewer, I can actually double click on one of these groups to drill in a bit further and see, what about group 4 and what about this subgroup within that group, and can zoom back out as well. So it just means you can have really cool interactive data. This works with, let's see what else we've got here. One of my favorite ones is the bar chart race. Love this one. It's very cool. So you can imagine if you've got, maybe you're trying to show data over a period of time and changes over a period of time. This is really cool. So again, you can fill in all the data. And what this actually does, it actually plays. I wonder if I can get it to play here.
You've got to get all the data in. This is really good. We use this a lot in social media. So you basically make the graph, and then over time you just keep on adding more and more and more. And so then every time you put in a presentation after that, it just gets more and more informative, because you can really start to see trends.
Yeah, absolutely. But again, it uses a sort of a really nifty animated feature to show changes over time, for anyone watching. These are all kind of off the back of a fairly recent acquisition Canva made of a company called Flourish. So they're a data visualization company, very heavily used in the kind of newsroom media space. So a lot more of this sort of stuff is getting integrated natively into Canva, which is super exciting.
There's a question here which I thought was really good, just about what key components do you need in the brand voice to make it work best with the Magic Write feature. So the answer to that would be, you've got up to 500 words. So you can really, like with AI, it's always the more words you can give in the prompt, the better it will be at kind of finding out exactly what you need. With brands that I work on, often what I'll do is I'll pack it full of something that I feel like kind of sums up our tone of voice perfectly. And then over time, as I start to see the AI working, I'll go in and kind of like change things slightly, just re-emphasize things, just so I make sure that the AI is picking it up. So that's what I would suggest, like put as much as you can in, get your 500 words in. The one I showed you before had exactly 500 words. And so throw it in, use Magic Write to make it even better. That's often what I do as well. I'll sort of create something and throw in this Magic Write and kind of improve it that way.
Yeah, absolutely. Felicity asked a question about sharing your credential to LinkedIn.
Great question.
Yeah. So I think the way this works is, if you're logged into your Canva account and it's a work-based account, once you finish the test and you gain your certification, there's a button to share to LinkedIn. So that'll essentially just share to whichever LinkedIn account you're currently logged in on that browser. So you can just log into your personal LinkedIn account. It should share over to that logged in account.
And I'll just add to that. There's a big and not-for-profit that I've been working with, and they just have one account. And so what I've sort of suggested is just use your free account, because you don't have to be a pro or anything like that. So if you've got a free Canva account, you can just use that as well, and then you'll get it straight onto your LinkedIn. Is there any other questions that we haven't answered? I think I've covered it. How much is it and how much is free? That is a great question.
Are you referring to just Canva in general, or the certifications? Because certifications are free. Okay, the magic features. Yeah. So
Question.
yeah, so a lot of the features we went through today, you can access for free for sort of like there's sort of usage limits to a lot of them. So you might, if you do hit that limit, then you'll probably be asked to upgrade to a paid account essentially. But a lot of them, you'd be surprised what you can actually use in Canva's free version. It's actually very full featured. Yeah, Canva's very generous.
Any elements or graphics or anything like that you want to use as well, you'll see there'll be a little crown icon on the ones that are sort of paid for.
And probably worth pointing out that if you work in the nonprofit space, we do have a free, well, essentially a full featured tier of product. It's a Canva nonprofit product, which you can apply for, which is completely free as well.
There's a question about Articulate 360. It would be great to use this with course development. I don't think there's an integration at the moment with Articulate. But Solly, I was going to ask, have you seen the lessons, Canva lessons yet? Nick, do you want to just show very quickly if you've got time?
Yeah, absolutely. We'll jump back into the Canva homepage here. So we do have a kind of a new area within our template marketplace. So if you come over to the template marketplace here and come into the sort of template categories, I'm just going to go to education, which is where they currently are. So let's go to resource type, lessons, open these up. So we've got this this kind of area where you can download almost like template packs. So it's a whole suite of templates, which are usually designed for educators, maybe a facilitator or even a teacher in a classroom to deliver a whole lesson. So really, really great for people on HR teams. Maybe they want to do onboarding for people as well. They can use these lesson packs now. There's an area in here called Future Skills. So we've partnered with some pretty big names here to deliver some really interesting kind of theory-based lessons. So here's one with the New York Times. We've done one with NASA. There's another really cool one here with Monotype, about typography.
That's a really good one.
Yeah, it's a really good one. There's a whole bunch in here as well. So this is an area that you can expect to grow significantly over the next months and years. And some really, really awesome kind of ready to use resources that you can download, and then you can customize them and you can share them out to your team to, sort of deliver custom bespoke courses.
And once you share that, you get all the access to all the analytics as well. So you can see exactly who's opened it, how long they've spent on it, just all those kind of things. So we're pretty excited about where this goes.
Yeah.
Oh, well, if there's no other questions, thank you so much for having us.
Thanks,
It's a
Matt
real
and Nick.
pleasure.
Now, if people do have other questions, or they've got even ideas or feedback on the product, what's the best way to share that?
That's a great, actually, I've got a link.
There's a link for that.
So yeah, if you want to just hit that link, if you've got, if you're in doing something, you're like, this would be awesome if this could do that. We love that kind of feedback. Our product teams really, really enjoy it.
Amazing. Thank you so much. You've just, I think, blown all of our minds. And I know there's a little side chat going on here about the some of the tools that you've shown us, and we're all just very excited to use them. And again, thank you to everybody who joined us today. We appreciate you being here. Have an amazing afternoon, and hopefully we'll see you for our next event next week, which is on all things crisis communication, but specifically around cybersecurity incidents. Thanks very much.
Thanks, everyone.